What if I told you that one of the most powerful ways to protect your body from cancer and disease may already be sitting in your kitchen? Not in a complicated medicine, not in an expensive treatment, but in everyday foods that many people overlook. Scientists have discovered that certain natural compounds found in plants can activate the body's own defense systems, helping to slow down harmful processes and support the mechanisms that keep us healthy. One of the most fascinating discoveries in cancer research began with a simple but powerful idea. Tumors cannot grow endlessly unless they receive the resources they need. A tiny tumor without access to blood vessels can only grow to about the size of the tip of a ballpoint pen. At that stage, it lacks enough oxygen and nutrients to expand further, almost as if it has reached an invisible barrier that stops its progress. But everything changes when new blood vessels begin connecting to that small tumor. Once those vessels arrive and start delivering oxygen and nutrients, the growth process can accelerate dramatically. A microscopic cancerous growth can increase thousands of times in size within a short period because it suddenly has access to the fuel it needs to survive and multiply. This process is known as tumor angiogenesis, and it became one of the most important areas of research in modern cancer science. Scientists began asking a critical question. If cancer depends on creating new blood vessels, could we stop that process and essentially cut off the supply line that allows the tumor to grow? That question led researchers to develop medications designed to block the blood supply feeding tumors. These biotechnology drugs became an important part of cancer treatment, helping doctors target one of the ways cancer tries to survive inside the body. But an even more surprising discovery came when researchers started using the same testing methods on foods instead of medicines. What they found was remarkable. More than 100 different foods contain natural compounds that can influence the same biological pathways and help limit the growth environment that cancer cells depend on. In other words, certain foods appear to have the ability to support the body's natural defenses in ways that scientists once believed were only possible through advanced drugs. One of the earliest discoveries came from testing green tea. Researchers were studying compounds that could block blood vessel formation around tumors, and when green tea was added to the experiment, the results were surprising. The natural compounds in green tea, especially a group called polyphenols, showed a powerful ability to interfere with the blood vessels that cancer cells need. The effect was so impressive that if researchers had not known the compound came from a natural source, they might have assumed it was a newly developed pharmaceutical drug. This discovery highlighted something scientists have repeatedly found throughout history. Nature often contains incredible solutions that we are still learning how to understand. One important compound found in green tea is AGG, a type of polyphenol with powerful biological effects. Another example is resveratrol, a compound found in grapes and red wine, which has also shown anti-angiogenic properties. These natural substances demonstrate how certain plant-based foods can interact with the body in complex and beneficial ways. Soy is another food that has been surrounded by confusion and misinformation. Many people have heard claims that soy is harmful because it contains phytoestrogens, but scientific research tells a much more complicated story. The phytoestrogens in soy are not identical to human estrogen. In fact, they can interact differently with the body and may help block certain effects of stronger human hormones. Research has shown that compounds in soy, especially genistein, can have anti-angiogenic effects and may help reduce the blood supply that supports breast cancer growth. Studies involving human patients have also explored these connections, showing that certain components of soy may play a beneficial role rather than the harmful one often claimed. This is why understanding science behind food is so important. Many foods that people already recognize as healthy are now being studied for their powerful bioactive compounds. Tomatoes, for example, contain lycopene, a natural compound associated with protective effects in the body. These discoveries are changing the way researchers think about nutrition. not just as a source of calories and vitamins, but as a source of powerful molecules that communicate with our cells. Another fascinating example comes from blueberries. Their deep blue color comes from natural pigments called anthocyanins. These compounds do much more than make the fruit visually appealing. Research suggests that anthocyanins can support the immune system by increasing the activity of important immune cells, including T cells and natural killer cells. These immune cells act like specialized defenders inside the body. They help identify and respond to threats, giving the immune system more tools to protect us. Studies have shown that consuming blueberries regularly can increase certain immune functions, with some research finding significant improvements in immune cell activity. For athletes, blueberries may act as a type of performance maintainer rather than simply a performance enhancer. When the immune system is functioning at a higher level, the body is better prepared to recover and defend itself against challenges. But perhaps one of the most interesting aspects of blueberries is that the same compounds that support immunity can also help control inflammation. Many people think immunity and inflammation are the same thing, but they are actually connected yet different processes. A strong immune system is necessary for protection, but excessive inflammation can become harmful. The goal is not to eliminate the immune response. The goal is balance, having strong defenses while keeping unnecessary inflammation under control. Foods like blueberries demonstrate how nature can sometimes provide both benefits at the same time. Another powerful food in this category is broccoli. This common vegetable contains a natural compound called sulforaphane, which belongs to a family of plant chemicals responsible for many of broccoli's unique properties. Sulforaphane has been studied for its ability to support immune function and activate protective pathways within the body. Even a simple serving of broccoli can contribute to stronger immune defenses. But there is a small detail that many people miss. Different parts of broccoli contain different amounts of beneficial compounds. While the florets are healthy, the stems actually contain even higher levels of sulforaphane. Many people throw away broccoli stems without realizing they are discarding some of the most valuable parts. Instead, the stems can be blended into soups, added to recipes, or prepared in creative ways. A simple broccoli stem soup with vegetables and herbs can become an easy and delicious way to receive more of these protective compounds. However, if someone truly wants to maximize the benefits of broccoli, there is an even more powerful option: broccoli sprouts. These are young broccoli plants that are only a few days old, and research has shown they can contain dramatically higher amounts of sulforaphane compared with mature broccoli. Studies have even examined how broccoli sprouts may influence immune responses after vaccination. In healthy young adults receiving a flu vaccine, adding broccoli sprout preparations was associated with a stronger immune response, showing how specific foods may help the body prepare a more effective defense. The bigger lesson from all of this is that food should not only be viewed through the lens of restriction. Many people struggle with diets because they focus only on what they must remove. But human nature often reacts negatively when we feel deprived. Instead of building a lifestyle around fear, guilt, and punishment, a healthier approach is to focus on adding more beneficial foods. When people discover foods they enjoy that also support their health, making better choices becomes much easier and more sustainable. That is why focusing on what you can add to your diet can be more powerful than constantly thinking about what you cannot have. When you fill your body with foods that strengthen your natural defenses, there is less room for unhealthy choices to dominate your lifestyle. Research has identified 5 major health defense systems that work together inside the body: angiogenesis, stem cells, the microbiome, DNA protection, and immunity. By supporting these systems through nutrition, you create a stronger foundation for long-term health. And the reality is that nobody follows a perfect diet every single day. Sometimes people will eat something they enjoy, celebrate with friends, or choose a food that is not the healthiest option. That does not mean everything is ruined. A body supported by good nutrition has built-in defense systems working every day. The goal is not perfection. The goal is creating habits that make your body stronger and give you more control over your health journey. One of the biggest mistakes people make when thinking about nutrition is believing that health requires constant sacrifice. They imagine that becoming healthier means removing everything enjoyable from their lives and following strict rules forever. But research and real-life experience show that extreme restriction is usually difficult to maintain because people naturally resist feeling deprived. When someone is constantly told what they cannot eat, their attention often becomes focused on the very things they are trying to avoid. This is a normal human response. The feeling of being restricted can create frustration, stress, and eventually make people abandon their healthy habits completely. A better approach is to shift the focus from deprivation to addition. Instead of asking, "What do I need to remove from my life?" a more powerful question is, "What can I add to my body that will make it stronger?" This small change in mindset can completely transform the way people think about food. The goal is not to create a relationship with food based on fear. Food should not be something that makes people feel guilty or ashamed. It should be something that supports energy, protection, enjoyment, and overall well-being. This is why discovering foods that you genuinely enjoy is so important. When people find healthy foods that match their personal taste, they are much more likely to continue eating them. Health becomes something positive rather than a punishment. In my research, I looked at hundreds of different foods that activate the body's natural defense systems. The fascinating thing is that among these foods, almost everyone can find something they already love. The idea is simple. Start with what you enjoy, because if something you already like is also beneficial for your body, you are already ahead. From there, you can continue adding more health-supporting foods into your daily routine. Over time, these choices become natural habits rather than difficult rules. Knowledge changes behavior, because once you understand what certain foods are doing inside your body, you begin seeing them differently. For example, when you learn that a kiwi is not just a sweet fruit, but also a food that can help protect your DNA and support your gut microbiome, every time you see one, you remember its value. Food becomes more than taste. It becomes a tool that helps your body function better. Kiwis are a great example because they are simple, affordable, and packed with important nutrients. Many people enjoy their unique flavor, but they may not realize the powerful compounds hidden inside this small fruit. First, kiwi is an excellent source of vitamin C and fiber. Vitamin C acts as a powerful antioxidant, helping protect cells from damage caused by unstable molecules in the body. Since our DNA is constantly exposed to stress from normal biological processes, supporting DNA protection is a crucial part of maintaining long-term health. Studies have shown that eating kiwi regularly may help protect genetic material from damage. Research has found that consuming 1 kiwi per day can significantly improve the body's ability to defend DNA against certain types of harm. Even more interesting, eating multiple kiwis may support the body's repair mechanisms. The body has natural systems designed to fix damaged DNA, and certain nutrients can help those systems work more effectively. This is one of the reasons nutrition is so fascinating. A simple action, like adding a kiwi to breakfast, mixing it into yogurt, blending it into a smoothie, or eating it as a snack, can provide compounds that interact with some of the most fundamental processes happening inside your cells. Beyond vitamin C, kiwi also contains a significant amount of fiber, making it a powerful food for the gut microbiome. The microbiome refers to the billions of microorganisms living inside our digestive system, and these tiny organisms play an enormous role in our overall health. For many years, scientists underestimated the importance of these microbes. Today, we understand that the gut microbiome influences digestion, immunity, inflammation, and even communication between the gut and the brain. Fiber acts as fuel for beneficial bacteria. When we eat fiber-rich foods, we are not only feeding ourselves, we are also supporting the helpful microorganisms that live inside us. Kiwi works as a prebiotic food because its fiber helps encourage the growth of healthier bacterial species. Research has shown that even adding a single kiwi to the diet can begin creating positive changes in the gut environment. A study conducted in Singapore examined the effects of kiwi consumption and found that it could influence the composition of gut bacteria in a favorable direction. This shows how quickly the body can respond when we provide it with the right nutritional support. The incredible thing about foods like kiwi is that they do not need to be complicated. You do not need special preparation or expensive ingredients. A simple fruit that can be peeled, sliced, and eaten in minutes can become part of a daily health strategy. And this brings us back to a larger idea. The best health choices are often the ones that become automatic. When people understand the benefits behind their food choices, they begin making decisions naturally. Education is one of the strongest tools we have because once knowledge becomes part of your thinking, it changes your behavior permanently. You cannot easily forget that something you once considered ordinary is actually helping protect your body. The same principle applies to all the foods that support the body's defense systems. Whether it is blueberries supporting immune function, broccoli helping activate protective pathways, green tea providing powerful plant compounds, or kiwi protecting DNA and feeding beneficial bacteria, each food contributes in its own way. Health does not come from one magical ingredient. It comes from the combination of many small choices repeated consistently over time. The body is constantly working, repairing, defending, and adapting, and the foods we choose can either support those processes or make them more difficult. Another important factor is understanding that these benefits are not about chasing perfection. Many people become overwhelmed because they think they have to completely transform their diet overnight. But lasting change usually happens through small improvements. Adding one healthy food is better than creating a perfect plan that lasts only a few days. One additional serving of vegetables, one piece of fruit, one healthier choice at a time. These actions accumulate and create meaningful results. The human body is designed with incredible systems of protection. Our role is not to control every single detail, but to provide the resources those systems need to perform their jobs effectively. When we focus on strengthening the body instead of constantly fighting against ourselves, healthy living becomes much more realistic. It becomes something that fits into everyday life, rather than something that feels impossible to maintain. And this same philosophy applies beyond individual foods. The combination of different plant compounds, fibers, vitamins, minerals, and natural chemicals creates a network of support that works together inside the body. Every meal becomes an opportunity. Every ingredient becomes a chance to provide information and support to your cells. The choices may seem small, but over time, these small decisions create the foundation for stronger health and a more resilient body. The human body is constantly communicating with the foods we eat. Every bite provides signals that influence our cells, our immune system, our metabolism, and the many defense mechanisms that keep us functioning. This is why nutrition is not only about avoiding problems, it is also about actively giving the body the tools it needs to protect itself. For many years, the conversation around diet focused mostly on what people should eliminate. People were told to fear certain foods, avoid specific ingredients, and follow strict rules. While some changes are certainly beneficial, a lifestyle built only around restriction often fails because it does not consider how people actually live. A more effective strategy is to create an environment where healthy choices become easier and more enjoyable. When you add more protective foods into your daily routine, they begin to replace less beneficial options naturally. Your taste preferences can change, your habits can improve, and your body begins receiving more of the nutrients it needs. This approach is not about being perfect. It is about creating a stronger foundation. The body has remarkable repair systems, and when we consistently support those systems, they can work more effectively. One of the most important areas where nutrition plays a role is the gut microbiome. The trillions of microorganisms living in our digestive system are not simply passive passengers. They interact with our immune system, influence inflammation, and help process many of the foods we consume. The relationship between humans and their microbiome is a partnership. We provide the bacteria with the nutrients they need, especially fiber from plant-based foods, and in return, these microorganisms produce compounds that can benefit our health. This is why foods rich in fiber are so important. Many people think of fiber only as something that helps digestion, but its effects go far beyond that. Fiber feeds beneficial bacteria, helping maintain a healthier internal environment. When the microbiome is balanced, it can support immune function and help regulate inflammation. But when the balance is disrupted, problems can develop. This is why eating a variety of plant foods is such an important part of supporting overall health. Different foods provide different compounds. There is no single superfood that can do everything. The real power comes from variety, the combination of many natural substances working together. For example, berries provide anthocyanins, vegetables like broccoli provide sulforaphane, green tea provides EZG, soy provides genistein, and fruits like kiwi provide vitamin C and fiber. Each one contributes a different piece to the larger picture of health. This concept is similar to building a strong team. One person may have a specific skill, but a group with different abilities can accomplish much more. The same idea applies to the foods we eat. A diverse diet gives the body multiple forms of support. Another fascinating area of research involves the connection between food and immunity. The immune system is not something that simply turns on when we become sick. It is active every day, constantly monitoring and responding to challenges. The strength and balance of this system can be influenced by many factors, including sleep, stress, physical activity, and nutrition. Foods containing certain plant compounds can help support immune cells and improve the environment in which they operate. This is especially important because immunity requires balance. A weak immune response leaves the body vulnerable, but an uncontrolled immune response can also create problems. The goal is not to increase immune activity without limits. The goal is to maintain a properly regulated defense system. Certain foods contain compounds that help achieve this balance. They support immune surveillance while also helping control unnecessary inflammation. This is one reason scientists are so interested in plant-based bioactive compounds. The word bioactive is important because it means these substances are not just providing basic nutrition, they interact with biological processes inside the body. They influence pathways involved in protection, repair, and regulation. This changes the way we think about food. A meal is not simply fuel, it is also information. The compounds in our food communicate with our cells and influence how our body responds. This understanding is also changing the conversation around aging. Many people think aging is simply about getting older, but scientists now recognize that many aspects of aging are connected to cellular damage, inflammation, DNA changes, and declining defense systems. Supporting these systems throughout life can help maintain better function as we age. It is not about stopping aging completely. It is about improving the quality of those years and helping the body remain resilient. One of the most powerful examples of this idea is the protection of DNA. Every day, our cells experience stress from normal processes. The body has natural repair mechanisms, but those systems need support. Nutrients and compounds from foods can help strengthen the environment in which these repair processes happen. Antioxidants, plant chemicals, and other nutrients contribute to the body's ability to manage everyday challenges. This is why small dietary choices can have long-term effects. A single meal may not transform your health overnight, but thousands of choices over months and years create a pattern that influences your future. The same principle applies to cancer prevention. Cancer is not caused by one single factor, and no single food can guarantee protection. However, research suggests that supporting the body's natural defense systems may help create conditions that are less favorable for disease development. This is an important distinction. The goal is not to replace medical treatments or make unrealistic promises. Instead, the goal is to understand how lifestyle choices can work alongside modern medicine to support better health. Science continues to discover new connections between food and the body. Every year, researchers learn more about how natural compounds influence our cells and how nutrition can become part of a comprehensive approach to wellness. But perhaps the most important lesson is that healthy living does not need to feel complicated. Many of the foods being studied are familiar foods that humans have eaten for generations. The challenge is not finding a secret ingredient. The challenge is recognizing the value of what is already available and making it part of our everyday lives. When we stop viewing food only as something that satisfies hunger and start seeing it as something that supports our biology, our relationship with eating changes. We begin making choices based not only on taste, but also on the knowledge that these choices are helping our bodies perform at their best. This mindset creates freedom instead of restriction. It allows people to enjoy food while also respecting the incredible systems working inside them every moment of every day. The body is always trying to protect us. The question is whether we are providing it with the resources it needs to succeed. By choosing foods that strengthen our natural defenses, we can work with our biology rather than against it. One of the most important lessons we can learn about nutrition is that our bodies are not machines that suddenly break down one day. Instead, our health is shaped by thousands of small interactions happening inside us every moment. Every meal, every habit, and every lifestyle choice sends signals that influence how our cells respond and how effectively our natural defense systems function. This is why focusing only on disease is not enough. A lot of people think about health only after something goes wrong. They wait until they receive a warning sign, a diagnosis, or a problem before they start paying attention. But the body has incredible protective systems that are working long before symptoms appear, and supporting those systems is one of the smartest things we can do. The idea behind health defense systems is simple. The body already has built-in mechanisms designed to protect, repair, and restore balance. These systems include protecting our DNA, maintaining healthy stem cells, supporting the microbiome, regulating immunity, and controlling processes like angiogenesis. The foods we eat can influence how well these systems perform. This changes the way we think about prevention. Prevention is not only about avoiding harmful things, it is also about actively strengthening the body every day. Instead of asking only, "What should I stop doing?" we can also ask, "What can I start adding that will help my body become stronger?" This approach creates a much healthier relationship with food. When people focus only on restrictions, they often feel like they are constantly failing. But when the focus shifts toward adding beneficial foods, every positive choice becomes a success. For example, adding more colorful fruits and vegetables to your meals means adding different plant compounds that support different functions in your body. The colors themselves often represent different families of protective molecules. Deep blue foods contain anthocyanins. Orange foods may contain carotenoids, and green vegetables often contain compounds that support detoxification and cellular protection. Nature has created an incredible variety of foods, and each one carries its own combination of nutrients and bioactive compounds. This is why diversity matters. Eating the same few foods repeatedly limits the range of benefits your body receives. Think about the immune system. It is not made up of just one type of cell or one process. It is a complex network involving many different components working together. Supporting that network requires a variety of nutrients and plant compounds. The same is true for cancer research. Scientists are discovering that cancer development is not controlled by one single pathway. It involves many biological processes, including abnormal growth, inflammation, blood vessel formation, and changes in cellular communication. This is why researchers are interested in foods that influence multiple pathways at the same time. A natural compound may not work like a traditional drug that targets one specific molecule. Instead, it may gently support several protective mechanisms throughout the body. This does not mean food replaces medical treatment. Modern medicine has created life-saving therapies that are essential for many patients. But nutrition can be an important partner in maintaining health and supporting the body's ability to respond. The most effective approach is usually a combination of scientific treatment, healthy lifestyle choices, and understanding how the body works. Each part plays a different role. Another important concept is consistency. Many people search for a quick solution, something they can do for a short time and immediately see dramatic results. But biology does not work that way. The body responds to repeated signals over time. A single healthy meal is valuable, but a pattern of healthy choices creates a much greater impact. Just like unhealthy habits accumulate gradually, protective habits also build gradually. This is why small actions matter. Eating a serving of berries, adding vegetables to a meal, drinking green tea, or choosing a fiber-rich fruit may seem like simple decisions. But when repeated consistently, these choices become part of a larger strategy that supports the body. The same principle applies to foods like kiwi. Many people walk past this fruit in the grocery store without realizing the potential benefits inside. Once you understand that kiwi contains compounds that support DNA protection and gut health, it becomes a completely different food in your mind. Knowledge changes behavior because awareness creates connection. When you understand the purpose behind a choice, you are more likely to repeat it. This is why education is such a powerful tool in health. People do not just need more rules, they need more understanding. They need to know why something matters and how it connects to their own body. Fear-based messages often create temporary changes, but understanding creates long-term transformation. When someone learns that a healthy choice is not a punishment, but an investment in themselves, the decision becomes much easier. This is especially important because food is deeply connected to emotions, culture, and daily life. Eating is not only a biological activity, it is also connected to memories, celebrations, relationships, and enjoyment. A sustainable approach does not require removing all pleasure. In fact, enjoyment is an important part of maintaining healthy habits. When people find a balance between foods they love and foods that support their health, they are more likely to continue those choices for years. The goal is not to create a perfect diet that nobody can follow. The goal is to create a realistic lifestyle that supports your body while still allowing you to enjoy life. Your body is constantly adapting. Your cells are constantly repairing damage. Your immune system is constantly monitoring threats, and your organs are constantly working to maintain balance. The foods you choose become part of that process. They provide the materials and signals that influence these activities. Every day gives you another opportunity to support your body's natural intelligence. This is why the future of nutrition is not just about counting calories or focusing only on weight. It is about understanding how food interacts with biology. As science continues to explore the connection between diet and health, we are learning that ordinary foods can have extraordinary effects. Foods that have been part of human diets for centuries may contain powerful compounds that modern science is only beginning to fully appreciate. The message is not that one food will solve every problem. The message is that many small choices, combined together, can create a stronger foundation for health. When you begin seeing food as a partner in your health, rather than just something you consume, your entire approach changes. You start making choices that are not based on fear, but on knowledge, confidence, and the desire to help your body perform the way it was designed to function. The most powerful change we can make in our approach to health is realizing that our bodies are constantly working for us. Every second of every day, countless processes are happening inside us to repair damage, defend against threats, maintain balance, and keep us alive. The question is not whether our bodies have protective abilities. The question is whether we are giving those abilities the support they need. This is why the relationship between food and health is so fascinating. Food is not simply something that fills our stomach or provides energy. The compounds inside foods interact with our cells, influence biological pathways, and help regulate some of the most important systems responsible for maintaining our well-being. When we choose foods rich in protective compounds, we are not just following a diet, we are providing information to our bodies. We are giving our cells the signals and resources they need to function more effectively. The science behind foods like green tea, blueberries, broccoli, soy, tomatoes, and kiwi shows us that nature has created a remarkable collection of tools that can work alongside our own biology. These foods do not act like magic solutions, and they are not replacements for medical care, but they can become valuable parts of a strategy designed to support long-term health. One of the biggest misunderstandings about nutrition is the idea that healthy living requires perfection. Many people believe that if they make one unhealthy choice, they have failed completely. But health does not work in extremes. The body is designed with systems that adapt, recover, and respond. A person who consistently supports their health defenses will not lose all progress because of one meal or one moment. Life is unpredictable, and everyone will sometimes choose foods that are based on enjoyment, convenience, or social situations. That is normal. The goal is to build a strong foundation so that occasional choices do not define your overall health. When the majority of your habits are supporting your body, you create a level of resilience that helps you handle the imperfections of everyday life. This is also why strict diets often fail. They create a temporary experience based on limitation rather than a lasting lifestyle based on empowerment. When people feel controlled by rules, they eventually want freedom. But when people understand how to make better choices while still enjoying food, those habits become sustainable. A healthier approach is to focus on abundance. Add more foods that protect your body. Add more plants, more colors, more variety, and more natural compounds that support your internal systems. Over time, these additions can naturally reduce the space available for less beneficial choices. This way of thinking removes the constant battle with food. Instead of feeling like you are fighting against yourself, you begin working with your body. The body has 5 major defense systems that are especially important: angiogenesis, stem cell function, the microbiome, DNA protection, and immunity. Supporting each of these systems gives the body a stronger ability to maintain balance and respond to challenges. Angiogenesis control helps regulate the formation of blood vessels, a process that is essential for normal healing but can become problematic when uncontrolled, such as in tumor growth. Certain foods contain compounds that can influence this process in beneficial ways. Stem cells are another important area because they help maintain and repair tissues throughout life. The microbiome influences digestion, immune function, and inflammation. DNA protection helps preserve the instructions that keep our cells functioning properly. Immunity provides the defense network that protects us from outside threats. Together, these systems create an internal shield. They are always active, always adapting, and always working to keep us healthy. Nutrition becomes powerful because it supports these systems from multiple directions. A variety of foods provides a variety of compounds, and these compounds work together in ways that scientists are continuing to discover. This is why a simple meal can have a deeper meaning. A plate filled with colorful vegetables, fruits, herbs, and other plant-based foods represents much more than nutrition. It represents thousands of natural molecules interacting with your body in ways that support protection and repair. The future of health is moving toward a more complete understanding of this relationship. Instead of looking at food only as calories, researchers are examining how specific compounds influence biological functions. We are learning that everyday foods contain a hidden complexity. The same foods people have eaten for generations may contain molecules that influence processes connected to disease prevention, aging, immunity, and overall wellness. This knowledge gives people more control. It does not mean we can control everything about health, because genetics, environment, and many other factors also play important roles. But it does mean that our daily choices matter. Every meal is an opportunity to support the body. Every small improvement contributes to a larger pattern. Health is not created by one decision. It is built through thousands of decisions repeated over time. The most important thing is to start where you are. You do not need to completely change your life overnight. You do not need to follow a complicated plan. Begin by adding one positive choice, then another. Maybe it is adding blueberries to breakfast, drinking green tea instead of another beverage, including broccoli with dinner, or enjoying a kiwi as a simple snack. These choices may seem small, but small actions repeated consistently can create meaningful changes. The purpose of understanding nutrition is not to create fear, it is to create confidence. When you understand that your body has incredible protective systems and that you can support those systems through everyday choices, health becomes something achievable. The foods we eat are one of the most direct ways we communicate with our bodies. They provide the materials needed for repair, the compounds needed for protection, and the support needed for balance. The message is simple. Do not focus only on what you need to remove. Focus on what you can add. Add foods that strengthen your natural defenses. Add habits that support your biology. Add knowledge that helps you make better decisions. Because the strongest approach to health is not built on punishment. It is built on understanding, consistency, and respect for the incredible intelligence already present within your own body. When you begin to see food as a powerful ally, every choice becomes an opportunity to invest in your future health. And that may be one of the most important discoveries science has given us, the ability to work with our bodies, not against them, through the simple decisions we make every single day.